you're probably wondering why I'm gonna break things inside this garage. Well, the answer is pretty simple. We're flooding here. As you can see on the ground, there's a lot of water marks, water stains. This is due to a flood that we had inside the garage. This happens due to a lot of water coming inside here and flooding this whole place down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and see if we can find a way to prevent all of this, and hopefully we won't get flooded anymore. To explain it to you simply, how things work here is that there's a drainage system right here, and then there's also a pipe down here. The water that's coming from outside comes from this pipe. It floods from here. It goes all the way to the other side and floods the whole basement. What my plan is to, I'm not going to block this pipe, because if I block this one, water is gonna overfill from here and pour through the whole place. What my plan is for this video is to make a big hole here, sort of a canal, where the water is going to go down into that canal. We're going to install a water pump. That water pump is going to pump the excess water outside, and hopefully we're going to prevent the whole basement from being flooded. This flood happens due to us being underground, and since we're underground, this pipe here is the lowest part of the whole linkage of the sewer system. And when there's a lot of water, the sewer is at its full capacity and water cannot go through anymore, so it overfills and it has to back out from somewhere. So this is that place right here. I'm gonna try my best to see what I can do with it to fix it, and once we fix that part, we can start renovating other things inside the main cave. This is our top priority because this is something serious and I don't want my basement to flood or to think that it's flooding every time it's raining outside. Right, I believe that breaking the concrete over there is going to be really easy because there's not actually a lot of concrete. As you can see, this is a cutout part inside the basement. It's in the middle. My plan is to cover this whole thing up with concrete later in the future, in future videos. So what you can see here is that there's like concrete, but it's reinforced only with rocks. So my guess is it's the same over there. There's just a bunch of rocks below the concrete. So I'm just gonna break out the surface of the concrete, and then I'm gonna use a pickaxe or something to pry out the rocks, and hopefully we can make a good place so we can start digging afterwards. Alrighty, so this is the plan that we're gonna be doing right now. I will be leaving a 15 centimeter mark where I'm not going to dig. So this is going to be that part right here. I just have a marker, a spray with color. I'm going to actually begin cutting from this part. And my plan is from here, I'm going to go 1 meter and 50 centimeters over there. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line right here. This is going to give me a rough estimate on where I need to start breaking the concrete. And from this line, I'm going to go 150 centimeters over there. I'm just going to do it right here. Boom, 150. Looks okay. And I'm going to put a marker right here. Perfect. We have a small layout on how big we want this thing to be. I think 1 meter and 50 centimeters is going to be okay-ish. If not, I can just always continue breaking more. But I think that's good enough for now. Let's power on the jackhammer and start breaking things. Jackhammer's powered up. It's not my first time using it. I've used it before, but I don't have any knowledge in doing things. But I think it's just putting it in, breaking things, and that's that. And I was wondering if there's a rule in where I should start, but I think I'm just going to start here in the middle and work my way around. Let's see how this thing goes. So the start is going to be slow. It's going to be challenging, but we're going to learn as we go. I'm going to do a quick time lapse of me breaking this, and hopefully I'll break something, not just this. Everything you saw here in that time lapse was me doing this small little hole for 20 minutes. I was doing this thing for 20 minutes. I think the hardest part is pretty much done because I had to make a hole to start removing some of the concrete and the rocks. Now that I have a hole, I can just use the jackhammer to simply chisel off corners and it's gonna start falling apart even easier. The first step is to completely remove the whole concrete area, clean it up, and once we've cleaned it up and we know that we can use a shovel to shovel things out, we're gonna continue off from there. Right now, I'm just gonna let this thing cool down a little bit because it's getting very hot. I don't want it to overheat or to break because I won't have anything to work. So I'll be back with a time lapse once this thing is completely cooled down. The damn jackhammer is stuck. I can't pull it out because it got inside the concrete. It's a mic. There we go. Let's continue. At least we're making some progress. It's really hard to be honest with you, but hopefully I'm gonna get it done by tonight. It's gonna take me a couple of hours. Mainly, I don't want to rush it because the jackhammer itself is getting really warm, and if I burn that thing, I won't even be able to make it at all. The very start was really hard for me because I had no hole, I had nowhere to start digging from. And what I did, I got this giant drill bit and I made a few holes around a rock. I found a rock, I made a couple of holes around that rock, and then I used the jackhammer. So there's concrete between these holes, and then I used the jackhammer to remove the concrete between the rocks. When one rock came out from that one single hole, I started going around the other rocks, and that's how I'm basically till here. So for example, if there's a big rock right here, I'm going around it where the concrete is, and I'm just simply breaking some small chunks from it, and hopefully the whole rock will fall down. And as I break things, I clean them up so I have more room. And I also try to dig below the concrete. As you can see, this is how much concrete there is of thickness. So I'm trying to dig below the concrete so there's empty space below it, and hopefully that's gonna help me break things even faster. But yeah, I'm gonna let this thing rest for a little bit and I'll catch you guys later. I'm gonna continue doing this. Now I really understand why people charge so much money for doing things like this and doing construction work in general. It's hard as fuck. %50 done, I think, with breaking the concrete only. My hands are killing me. It's gonna take maybe a couple of more. I think in around 30 to 30 minutes to an hour, I might be finished with just breaking things. Then I have to clean everything up, remove all the concrete, put it somewhere else, clean everything here, and then I'm gonna start digging downwards. I'm just gonna let the jackhammer cool down a little bit more so I can start using it again. One meter, 50 centimeters of concrete and rocks, done. The next thing that is on the list is to clean almost everything up here, all the concrete here, until we're only left with dirt. I've managed to clean something off camera. Some parts I have just a little bit left. Once I've cleared everything, I'm gonna get to digging. I plan on digging at least 1 meter deep from this part right here, and then I'm gonna think if I want to extend this part right here a bit more. I need to plan out how I want to do the walls of the floor of the whole canal, because I need to leave a little gap for a metal bar here so people don't fall down, so it's safer for people. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I start digging down. It's the next day. Yesterday we cleaned things up. I've managed to dig around 60 centimeters deep. I can go inside now, which is great.
Yeah, boy.
We're like 50% done with digging. I had some help from my friends and my dad. They both helped me out with the digging and removing all the extra dirt and the concrete, cleaning things up. Shortly, I'm gonna continue digging down for 1 meter. So I'm gonna have a total depth of 1 meter. Once I'm done with that, we're gonna start clearing everything up, and I believe we're gonna add some cement and make this thing a good canal. And we also have to waterproof it. Let's keep on digging. All right, quick update. I've managed to get to the 1 meter mark slowly, but surely we're getting somewhere. I need to make sure everything's flat below on the soil, and then I need to do all the walls, the corners, to make sure everything is at a 90-degree angle so I can start with the concrete. Wish me luck. All right, check this out. Walls all on 90-degree angles. I've managed to do all of them. The floor is completely flat. And my next step is to get some wires. I've managed to flatten them all out, and I need to put some rebar below here so the concrete is all thick and secured in place. Time to start working on the floor.
Much later.
The next part is to start working on the floor of the canal, and I'm going to use these wires. So I've got 12 of these. They are 75 centimeters wide, so they're going to go like this. And then I've got long ones, which are these ones right here. These are going to go like this, and pretty much these are going to tighten up the concrete floor so it doesn't move anywhere and it's more solid. I'd say it doesn't crack. So these are 175 centimeters long. So I'm just going to put them all together. I'm going to use zip ties to tighten them up, and we'll see where we get from there. Let's start. I'm really hoping that once I'm done with all of this, with this whole little project of mine, that I'm not going to worry about my man cave flooding anytime soon, because it's really a pain in the ass once this thing starts flooding. And it worries me all the time. Like when it starts raining outside just a little bit, I have to worry about home getting flooded. And that's all because some stupid plumbing problem that my city could not solve, or my area, I should say. Shouldn't blame the city. So you gotta make a solution for yourself. Yeah, I really enjoy doing these DIY projects, to be honest with you, because they're fun. They give you you have an activity to do, and plus you're gonna save some money. You don't have to pay workers to do this thing for you. You can pretty much do it yourself. It's going to take some time. You may struggle a little bit, but I think it's going to work out at the end. And I'm just using zip ties because they're more convenient. They're easier to work with, and you don't have to, because they're going into concrete, it doesn't really matter what's going to happen to them or not. They're going to stay there, because some people tend to use wires to tighten all this up, but I think zip ties are just going to do good. Yo, would you look at that? We're getting somewhere. This thing is coming along perfect. I don't know if it's just me, or if there are other people who genuinely just enjoy doing things like this. Like peace and quiet, doing nothing. Your brain is basically shut off, and you're just working on a little project that you have in your basement, in your yard, in your whatever, in your room, and you're just enjoying your time. Even is when like you're at work, you come home tired, but you do some random things like this and you just do them. You're not tired. This is your free time, your usage of free time. That's how I do it. If you do that thing, put a comment down below, tell me what you do if you see this video. And the last one goes just like this. All right, perfect. Dude, this is okay. Yeah, this is gonna work out perfect. So what's gonna happen? This thing is gonna go down here. Firstly, I'm gonna put some sand. Have sand right here. I'm gonna put sand below this whole below the soil, above the soil. Sorry, I'm gonna put sand above the soil because the soil is really soft, and I wouldn't want anything to happen. So I don't even know if it's gonna help. I'm just gonna put some sand below. Then I'm gonna make a mix of concrete. I'm gonna pour a little bit of concrete. Then I'm gonna put this rebar, this wire, whatever it's called. I'm gonna put it inside the concrete, and then I'm gonna put even more concrete above. And I'm gonna leave it for a day or two so that thing tightens up. And the next thing is gonna be, we're gonna be doing the walls. Wish me luck. All right, and we're officially finished with digging and cleaning all the dirt from the garage. The hardest part for me, I think it's done. Mainly the hardest thing was the digging and the cleaning after the digging. What you guys saw in that time lapse of 4 minutes was actually 1 hour of me constantly digging and removing the dirt. The next thing that we're gonna focus on is making the canal with concrete and sealing everything up perfectly. So I'm tired. Tomorrow we're gonna go and get some concrete. I'll see you guys. Hello. It's been a couple of days since I last did something. I've managed to get some cement. I got sand. I've got my rebar over there, and now it's time to start working on the floor. First things first, we're gonna dump a lot of sand down here. The sand is needed, I think, so the concrete sticks better and it doesn't touch any of the dirt, because the dirt is wet most of the time and the sand is gonna be dry. We're gonna pour it down and see how things work out. First things first, let's lay it all down and spread it evenly on the whole floor. Okay, so time to use my rake and see if I can rake things from here, make it all even. Not yet. Fuck it, let's go down. Also, I don't know if you can see, there's another hole here in the hole. What my plan is for all the dirt, debris, all the waste that comes from the pipe, when it all goes down, there's the lowest point that we can use to easily clean things up. Sand is officially down. The next thing that I want to do is I want to get the rebar and place it down. Also, I need to cut out a small chunk of it, so there's going to be two separate parts of the rebar. One is going to go down here in this smaller hole, and the rest is going to be right here. I'll be right back. Let me just cut it. Yeah, this is the exact part that I want to be cut out, so we can start using it. Let's start cutting. All right, there we go. That looks promising. We've got a small piece of rebar. This is gonna go down here into the concrete, and this bigger part is gonna go right here. The next thing that I think is good to do is to get some water, put it down here, so all of this sticks better. You can just stick the rebar inside the dirt just a little bit. Should help out stay nice and well. Let's start making concrete. Right, I have the main ingredients for the concrete. I've got cement, I've got sand, and I've got water. So to make a good batch of concrete, I think it's 1 shovel of concrete, 3 shovels of sand, and some water. You're gonna put water as you mix so it doesn't get too wet or it doesn't be too dry. It needs to be a good combination, I should say, or a good batch. So wish me luck. I think I've made a couple of batches of concrete. I think it's not gonna be a problem. I just need to make it to be the right thickness, and then we should be good to go with the floor. First things first, I'm gonna put some water as my first thing, so that concrete and sand don't stick to the ground of the bucket. To whoever has been working with concrete, I think they're gonna know my pain that I have right here. It's sometimes too dry, sometimes too watery, and you can't get it to be perfect. So forget what I said previously, just try to make it as good as you can. For a floor, I think it needs to be a bit thicker because you're gonna step on it. I think this is okay if you're gonna be doing it for walls to lay bricks on it, but for a floor, I think it needs to be a bit thicker. Right now, it has a good thickness, but I think it needs to be a bit drier. It needs to be a bit thicker. I think I got it. I think that's a good batch. I don't know, man. That looks promising to me. Let's dump it all down and see what happens. I might need at least 2 or 3 buckets of this. I'd say 2 or 3 more is enough. I'll be right back. After a couple of buckets, I've managed to get something. I'm just gonna try to make it as flat as possible from on one side and slowly work my way around towards here. Keep in mind, it's my first time doing this. I don't know how much you can see me or the floor here. It's all covered in concrete. I had a really big issue where this part of the concrete, the first batch that I made on camera, was dry, it was really good, and then the other batch was a bit wet. Hoping that won't cause any problems in the future. It may cause problems, but oh well, it is what it is. I flattened everything out with this tool. I'm just gonna do one more round to make sure everything's flat. And yeah, hopefully I'm gonna let it cure for 1 or 2 days. Once that's cured, I'm gonna focus on the small hole here, and I'm gonna put a bit more concrete on this part right here, so everything is completely perfect or filled with concrete, I'd say. Once it's all dried out and I'll be able to step on it, I'll work with this small area right here, and then we're gonna go and work with the walls. So I'll be back. Yo, it's a new day. Floor is officially finished. For me, I think it looks great. It's solid. I can walk on it now. It's pretty straight. It has a path downwards from here to here. There's also a bottom layer here, which is going to be used to catch all of the debris, all the waste, so we can clean it up manually. And that's exactly where the water pump is going to stay. The next step that we're going to do is I'm going to get some planks. I need to cut them and measure them. So pretty much I need to make a outer layer here for the walls. Pretty much I'm going to make a barrier for the walls. It's going to go here, 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 and back here. It's going to be a whole box, and inside there I'm going to put wires. I have a good rebar here. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to put cement there, and hopefully till tomorrow that thing hardens up and our walls are going to be completely finished. So I'll be right back. I'm going to start measuring. I'm going to nail them. Once I'm done, we're going to put it down here, and we're going to start working on making more concrete and finish up the walls. All right, we're finally finished. Everything is finished. We have concrete here. There's no more dirt. All that is left for me to do is to just remove the wooden tiles. Once they're removed, we can have the walls completely finished. Right now, I'm just waiting for this thing to dry up, and I'll have a complete metal bar here that I'm gonna put so we can actually walk on this. And after that, we're gonna be good to go. As you can see down here, we have the water pump. It's gonna be set up to where it's gonna go. There's gonna be a pipe going from there to here, and it's gonna go outside, and it's gonna go out in the sewer system.
1 week later.
A couple of days passed since that last cut that we had, and I think we are about 90 to 95% finished. Everything. Right now, everything is out. The walls are completely finished. I'm gonna show them to you in a second. I did cut out some boards, so I have something here covered up so people don't fall down, or I don't fall down. They are pretty sturdy. They're good enough. There's a small hole here, but I don't think that would be a problem. Off camera, I'm gonna call somebody who professionalizes in welding and things like that. I want him to make me a big door here that matches the exact hole of this canal with a handle so that we can open and close. And a very important thing that we need to do is we need to add waterproof silicone or something like a waterproof layer inside the whole canal so water doesn't go inside and concrete doesn't absorb that water. I have a cable here. This is gonna be finished. I'm gonna cut a hole here. I'm gonna put a hole, I'm gonna put a pipe, I'm gonna feed the cable from the water pump into that pipe, and I'm gonna make a specific outlet just for that water pump. And from here, there's gonna be a hose going outside, and everything is gonna be finished. So off camera, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put waterproof layer, I'm gonna add a hose here, I'm gonna put a pipe to feed the wire for the water pump, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And boom, this is how the walls are good. They're all solid, there's no dirt, everything's covered up fully. I believe that we're gonna be 100% waterproof. The man cave is gonna be 100% waterproof. Right now it's not gonna flood because we're gonna have all the water coming here and it's gonna be pumped outside. So whenever it rains, I won't have to worry. Now, prior to everything that I've done in the previous cuts that you saw, I had a bit of help. My family was here, my fiance was here, my brother helped me out a lot. Thanks to all of them for helping me out. I hope you guys like this video. Off camera, I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finalize all those small things I need to do. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.